Among the more than 1,700 federal inmates at FCI Seagoville, 56-year-old George Reagan is nearing the end of his 5-year sentence for drug offenses. He is also, according to his wife,
so it was 300 people in his building alone, and all of them had tested positive.
Among an astounding number who have tested positive for COVID-19.
The building that he's in, they're all positive.
According to the Bureau of Prisons' own reports, the Seagoville facility has, as of today, 1,072 inmates and 9 staff who've tested positive. Given that 1,446 inmates there have been tested so far, that's a positivity rate upwards of 74%.
And I think that Seagoville wasn't prepared. I think that the guards really wasn't trained.
Seagoville also confirmed its first death from COVID-19, a 65-year-old inmate who died on Thursday, and FMC Carswell in Fort Worth reported its second inmate death, a 69-year-old woman who died on Wednesday. Nationwide, there have been 95 federal inmate deaths and 1 staff member death attributed to COVID-19. In a statement to WFAA, a Bureau of Prisons spokesperson said, "As testing resources have become more available, we are testing our inmate population more broadly, which is helping us to quickly identify and isolate positive cases to rapidly flatten the curve when outbreaks occur." As for the Seagoville outbreak,
concerned with kids going back to school if it can rise that fast in a prison setting.
Tabitha Wheeler-Reagan hopes her husband could be among those released early.
But the fight is not just for him. I don't want anybody to die a death sentence. A third world country released inmates prior to the epidemic going crazy in their country. America should be able to do better.
But for now, the federal prison system is clearly battling its own COVID crisis too. In Dallas, I'm Kevin Reese.